Hey guys, forgive my voice, I just can't seem to be getting better. Sorry, I probably should have done that before I started the video instead of after I started the video, so you didn't have to listen to that disgustingness. Sorry. So, I didn't title today's post because it's really just kind of putting together the pre-writing task that we sort of did together today. Or at least the portion of the pre-writing task for your persuasive essay that we did today in class, that you're being asked to finish for homework. Always check down there for homework. I won't be posting any text for today, it's just really kind of putting everything together. So, between the last few days, excuse me, oh, awful. Between the last few days, we've talked about what really goes into persuasion. You need to consider your audience. Who are you talking to? You need to have a goal in mind, whether it's something you're selling, something you're trying to get somebody to believe, something that you're trying to convince somebody about, something that you are trying to prove, something that, whatever it is, you have to have a goal in mind. And you also have to know how you're going to actually accomplish that goal, the tactics you're going to use, the strategy. Well, we talked, and if you're going to be writing a persuasive essay, trying to get me, a colonist, who's undecided, who doesn't want any part of the war, to join the patriot cause, you're going to need to do something besides sell me on the concept of war, because I'm not going to do it. War is awful. Good luck getting me to buy it. So if you know that I'm an undecided colonist, and we wrote this down, by the way, these on the top of your pre-writing sheet that you're going to be asked to show me tomorrow that you've completed it. So take some time and copy this down. Whether you have to press pause on the video or whether you go back to yesterday's post for this stuff. This is at the middle or bottom of the post from yesterday and Monday. And this is just today, so you're just going to have to, whatever. But I'm an undecided colonist. You want me to join the Patriots. You have to put something at risk. Just like in that plastic ear vacuum commercial, the immediate attention getter was the ow, right? You had to take something that I didn't think was dangerous at all and make it dangerous, cleaning out my ears. Okay? All of a sudden, I got a guy hurting himself. I've got an animation of an eardrum being punctured with a Q-tip, which was awful. And you've got a doctor coming on saying, it's really not safe to clean out your ears. All of these things made me now scared. It put at risk safety in an area where I didn't know there was a safety risk. And so now I'm willing to at least listen to the product that's being presented as a fix for this risk. Pardon me. So now you know, because we discussed that what's really important to this particular audience member, an undecided colonist, and you can decide, remember you're not writing a letter to me, it's an essay. So it's really more like a piece of propaganda, which is why I had you bring your social studies notes today on the causes of the revolution and propaganda. It's really something that would be designed to be able to be slipped into a whole bunch of different mailboxes, or maybe go door to door with a whole bunch of people who are similar. Maybe I'm a businessman, maybe I'm a farmer, maybe I'm just a family guy. Whatever it is that you decide that you're writing to, whoever it is that you decide you're writing to, make sure it could be applied to a whole bunch of different people and not just me specifically, right? Don't write Dear Mr. Kazran. All right? So these are the things that we said we were going to have to put at risk today when we were building our pre-writing. Family and friends, religion, profession, possessions. That goes into the life of a colonist at that time, right? Self-government, and not only self-government and a choice in the government, and a say in the government that's ruling me, but also my ability to determine kind of what I do, when I do it, and how I do it. That's sort of part of that freedom aspect of liberty. And choice and justice. Because remember, we need to know that there's justice. Because if there's freedom of choice, well, somebody could just say, well, I have freedom of choice. I choose to take your stuff and kill you. No, there should be some justice in order to keep this all in check. So, pursuit of happiness, right? We discussed life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are really important to the colonists. That's why it's all over the framing documents of our country. Pursuit of happiness is last on the list. But it includes safety. Remember, it's really hard to be happy if you don't feel safe. The ability to enjoy life. Financial security. You need to put some of these things in jeopardy at risk if you're going to get me, an undecided colonist, to join your side. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, you are writing a 5-paragraph essay, and it includes 3 causes of the revolution that are going to help you convince an undecided colonist to join the revolution. So if you're going to take something like, I don't know, the Stamp Act. Well, let me tell you something about taxes. They're necessary to keep a government functioning. We don't have much say in any of the taxes that we have to pay, and they didn't then either. Well, just because the price of gas has gone up like almost 4 times since when I first put my first tank of gas in my car, back when I was 16, and cigarettes, I mean, I've never smoked and I don't smoke, and you shouldn't either, but as soon as I was able to buy a pack of cigarettes, it was $2.50 for the cheapest pack. Now it's like $8.50 for the cheapest pack. So again, it's increased by over 3 times the price, and mostly it's because of taxes. We don't see anybody starting a war against our government because of the prices of gas or taxes going up, because or cigarettes going up, because taxes are a necessary part of living in a functional government. Well, you don't want to make that a point when you're trying to convince me to join your cause. You don't want to say that taxes are good, you want to say taxes are bad. So even though taxes are necessary, you don't want to focus on that. The Stamp Act taxed stuff that everybody bought. They'd even tax playing cards. Maybe put in danger my ability to enjoy a game night with my family. Maybe put in danger my ability to do much of anything without paying money, like read a newspaper, for crying out loud. Any of these things are good things to attack. Remember, when you are being persuasive and you're on one side and you're trying to convince somebody to join you, take all of the pieces of the truth that work the best for you. You don't want to make the argument for the other side, you want to make the argument for your side. And we're not lying. We're actually using research, and the research causes of the revolution that you guys have in your social studies notes. But you're taking the pieces of the truth that work the best for your side. The Boston Massacre. You don't want to say that these were teenage colonists who were verbally abusing these soldiers and putting things into snowballs and chucking them at the soldiers so that, like rocks and ice, so that it hurts them and physically assaults them. You don't want to mention that stuff. They weren't full-blown adults, they were teenagers, so maybe call them kids. Does it look worse if the British are killing kids? Absolutely. Bring up the snowballs, but leave out the rocks and ice. They were just throwing snowballs. Remind me, as the audience, that they weren't armed, they had no weapons with them. Right? Pick the pieces of the truth that support your side. That's what building an argument is. You're picking things that you can support yourself with. Just like in any essay. You've got a thesis, you've got to support it. Well, then let's go back to that, your thesis. What is your thesis? I am going to tell you about why you should join the revolution. No, you're not going to get anywhere with that. Remember, how did they get your attention in plastic ear vacuum commercial? Ow! Right? What's your ow moment? It gets me to look at the TV. It gets me to look at the TV, that ow moment, and go, oh, somebody just got hurt. How did that happen? Grab my attention. Remember, you're not going to get very long to do this. A page to 2 pages maybe before me, as an undecided colonist, before I go, I'm not reading this. So you got to get in, get out, make your point, and use the information. But you got to get my attention first, otherwise I'm not going to bother to read it all. Are you going to stand by while the British killed kids? Whoa, you got my attention. Are you going to let the British tax you into the poorhouse and have your children starve? Got my attention. Are you going to allow the British to just walk in and take all your stuff and live there if they want to, and if you say no, they can burn your house down? Got my attention, right? Make sure you are grabbing my attention, you are holding my attention, and you are putting things that I care about at risk. Remember that what's due tomorrow is not a draft. I need your thesis statement, the hook, the ow sentence, and I need a layout, a blueprint, which is what pre-writing is, a blueprint for your essay that you're going to use to start writing when we start drafting tomorrow. That's due for homework tomorrow. Hopefully, all of this is very clear to you. You can choose any of the causes of the revolution, but make sure the causes are what your paragraphs are focused on. Yes, you are putting these things at risk, but I want you to focus on the causes. Boston Tea Party, Boston Massacre, Sugar Act, Quartering Act, Stamp Act, Tea Act, and the Intolerable Acts even. I mean, we always want to say, we want to build our argument. We want to make me the most mad at the end, so maybe use the Boston Massacre, or maybe use the Intolerable Acts as the final straw that's going to make me grab my gun and join you. Okay? Keep that in mind. We're going to talk a little bit more about this tomorrow as you begin to draft, but make sure you come prepared with your pre-writing. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.